Right here? Perfect. Hi, my name is Joanna O. I'm an attorney here at Moaddel Law Firm, practice criminal defense, and I am here to walk you through the American classic, Legally Blonde.
The law is reason free from passion. Does anyone know who spoke those immortal words? Elle Woods.
Oh, actually, I wasn't aware that we had an assignment.
Oh. Vivian Kensington, do you think it's acceptable that Ms. Woods is not prepared?
No. I don't.
Would you support my decision to ask her to leave class and to return only when she is prepared?
Absolutely.
It was like hugely triggering. I'm like sweating, but yeah, that happened because when you get your book list, the professors can either choose to have an assignment for the first day, or they can say the first day will be an outline day, but no one tells you that you should check that. So I did read all of them. I did do all my readings, but there was definitely a similar scene to that, although no one was asked to leave. But that just, I'm sweating. That triggered me a lot.
Are you ready?
No.
Yes, you are.
I'm Elle Woods, Miss Bonafante's attorney. And I'm here to discuss the legal situation at hand.
Come again?
Do you understand what subject matter jurisdiction is?
No.
I didn't think so. Well, due to habeas corpus, you and Miss Bonafante had a common law marriage, which heretofore entitles her to what is legally referred to as equitable division of the assets.
Come again?
Due to the fact that you've retained this residence, Miss Bonafante is entitled to full canine property ownership, and will be enforcing said ownership right now.
Huh?
Tell him, Paulette. I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
That was cute. None of that was right. Subject matter jurisdiction was the bane of my existence, but that is the jurisdiction that tells you whether a state court has it or federal court has it. I do not think Massachusetts is a common law state. It might be, but I'm not positive it is. Habeas corpus has nothing to do with marital law, but she did use a lot of big words together in a way that clearly worked, so I applaud it. That's half of what law is.
I brought you some necessities, some Calvin Klein 720 count sheets, the entire clinic skincare line. I have to tell you the real reason I came here. Professor Callahan says we really, really need your alibi.
Oh. I can't. I mean, you don't understand.
Who could understand better than me?
It's so shameful.
Whatever it is, Brooke, it could save you.
No, that's just it. It would ruin me.
How?
I've made my fortune on the ability to perfect women's bodies with Brooke's butt buster workout.
I know you helped me go from a 6 to a 4.
It's great. On the day of Hayworth's murder, I was getting
What?
I was getting liposuction.
Huh?
Liposuction! Oh, God!
That is alarmingly common. This is a way more realistic version of what visits look like. I think people will just hold on to things throughout trials or throughout their cases where they're like, no, I absolutely have to have this, or I can't say this, or I won't do that, even if it would affect their cases. But it's like one of those things that, like, as their attorney, you have to realize, like, that every person is like a real person who has like things that are like, this is the most important thing to me. Because to me, I'm like, my fortune could go because I'm not going to jail. But obviously, like, to her, her fortune and her reputation is all she has left. But that's super common. Every client has like a different thing that's like, this is the one thing I will never give up. This is like the thing that's most important to me, like that you have to take into account throughout my entire case. Like sometimes it's their kids, sometimes it's their house, sometimes it's their job or their like license. But every client has one of those.
Excuse you, you're in my way.
She's a law student. She can't defend you.
Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court ruling 3.03.
See?
I think that's fake law. I'm 100%, 99% sure that's a fake law. A law student cannot be your attorney. Courts don't even really like to let defendants represent themselves. I'm not going to let. I don't think that's a real rule. And, that's not the way you sub into a case, and it's not the way you force an attorney out. There's motions, there's whole procedures that they've completely thrown away here. But obviously, motion writing is not the sexy part of law, so no one wants that in a movie.
Would you may begin your questioning?
Miss Wyndham, had you ever gotten a perm before?
Yes.
How many would you say?
2 a year since I was 12. You do the math.
You know, a girl in my sorority, Tracy Marcinko, got a perm once. We all tried to talk her out of it. Curls weren't a good look for her. She didn't have your bone structure. But thankfully, that same day, she entered the Beta Delta Pi wet t-shirt contest where she was completely hosed down from head to toe.
Objection. Why is this relevant?
Oh, I have a point, I promise.
Then make it.
Yes, ma'am. Chutney, why is it that Tracy Marcinko's curls were ruined when she got hosed down?
Because they got wet?
Exactly. Because isn't it the first cardinal rule of perm maintenance that you're forbidden to wet your hair for at least 24 hours after getting a perm at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thioglycolate?
Yes.
And wouldn't somebody who's had, say, 30 perms before in their life be well aware of this rule? And if, in fact, you weren't washing your hair, as I suspect you weren't because your curls are still intact, wouldn't you have heard the gunshot? And if, in fact, you had heard the gunshot, Brooke Wyndham wouldn't have had time to hide the gun before you got downstairs, which would mean that you would have had to have found Mrs. Wyndham with a gun in her hand to make your story plausible. Isn't that right?
She's my age. Did she tell you that? How would you feel if your father married someone who was your age?
You, however, had time to hide the gun, didn't you, Chutney? After you shot your father.
I didn't mean to shoot him. I thought it was you walking through the door.
Her questioning was terrible in the beginning when she was telling stories and like talking about mens rea, but then her questioning was bad even after she found her wave about the perm. I'm not sure why the DA didn't object. There was compound questioning, it was argumentative, it was hard to get to the relevance of that. I would have objected far earlier. I mean, that was like a paragraph long question. But obviously this is, I mean, it's great attorney work. It's something that probably should have been sussed out by the detectives. But that's one of the things you have to do as a criminal defense attorney. A lot of times you have to find the angles and the facts that the other investigations haven't. As a person born in the 90s, I love the movie. I'm not going to despair, like, no slander here. So I love the movie. Lovely, Elle Woods, I love the message. Like, you know, anyone can be an attorney. You just have to be smart enough and good enough, and it doesn't matter anything else about what you look like or what you wear. I think they got most of it pretty close. Like, the things that were, like, blatantly inaccurate, they did, you know, some Hollywood magic to try to bring it closer to reality, such as like no, a law student can't defend you for murder, but a certified law clerk under the supervision of a licensed attorney can make appearances in certain criminal proceedings. So this is close enough. So thanks for sticking with me on this emotional journey of rewatching this classic. If you like this kind of content, obviously like and subscribe, but give us more suggestions. What should we watch? I suggested the first 10 seasons of the original Law & Order, because there's a lot of legal nonsense in those seasons. But any other movies, any shows, any legal favorites that you have, we'd love to do a little bit of a walkthrough with them. And any other type of content you'd want to see, whether that's advice, kind of explanations of the criminal process, or just more of us. Let us know. Write it in the comments.